is Tuesday, January the 26th. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. I am thinking that this will be short. And I know every time I say that, I jinx it, and then it turns out being 30 minutes long, but I'm going to make a conscious effort not to go long this time. Anyways, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, KIRWKC on Twitter, Instagram. Also, I upload episodes to IGTV, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. If you're watching this on YouTube or Daily Motion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button followed by the notification bell for YouTube. That way you will know when I upload new videos. This show is on most of the podcasting platforms: Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, Apple, iHeartRadio, Pandora, so on and so forth. Okay, so my mother and I were talking this past weekend because I had called her because I hadn't spoke to her in a while. And because for those who have been following my podcast, you know that I limit my availability to people regardless of who they are, friends, family, whatever. I just don't get on the phone that much and talk to people. I just don't. And also because I work a lot too. But my mother and I were talking, and we were talking about TV shows because that's usually our common ground without going off into other things, because she usually wants to talk about low frequency stuff like what's going on in somebody else's life, or this person isn't doing well, or somebody just died or something like that. I don't want to talk about that. So usually I get off the phone when she starts going off in that area. But we are able to talk and hold a conversation because we both love movies and TV shows. And I was telling her that I haven't had that much time to watch TV as much as I used to, where I could just binge watch something all day, 3 or 4 days a week, and do it like that. I just don't anymore. So there's a lot of shows I have to catch up on. And then she started talking about Hulu. And I was like, yeah, I said, I'm not going to get it because I won't watch it. I said, the only reason I have Netflix and what's the other one I have? Amazon Prime. That's it. And Amazon Prime is because it comes with the service. Because for my wireless T-Mobile, if you have 2 lines or more, they'll give you the Netflix included for like $2. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I have that plan with T-Mobile, and then for Amazon Prime, obviously I have Amazon Prime because if you've been following the podcast, you know I have stuff shipped literally almost every day from Amazon. So I'll get the Prime with it, the Prime Video. But I haven't watched any of the shows. I haven't even watched season 2 of The Boys yet, and they're now showing season 3 of the trailer or whatever, I think, for The Boys, for season 3 or something. So yeah, I want to watch season 2. Anyways, when I brought up Hulu, she said, yeah, I got Hulu back, but those ads, I can't stand those ads. And she said I had to switch my plan and get the plan without ads. She's like, I hate commercials. And I was like, yeah, me too. I don't like commercials. I don't like ads. Anytime I'm watching stuff on YouTube, which is usually the only thing I watch on YouTube is some political related stuff, just a little bit. I'd probably say if I had to give a percentage, 90% of the stuff I watch on YouTube is tarot card readings, because I like to familiarize myself with the cards in the deck and get other people's views on what they think the cards mean. Because yeah, there was one I had seen yesterday, and when she laid out the cards, I don't know how she got what she got, but I was getting something totally different. But it is what it is. So I'd probably say about 90% tarot card readings and 10% political stuff, because I still have my political podcast that I do in the morning. But when the ads start playing on the shows, what I do is I hit the mute button because I don't like commercials, and I'm not paying for YouTube Premium. That's not happening. So yeah, I hit the commercial. I hit the mute button during the commercial. And for any type of streaming platform that I have, which is Netflix and Amazon Prime, if it had commercials, not that I have so much time to watch it, but I really wouldn't be watching it then. And that's just the way it is. But the thing is that it's become second nature. As soon as I see the ad come on, I just grab the remote and hit the mute button. And then I look at what the time is on the ad, on when it's looking to end, like it'll say it's a 30-second ad or a 2-minute ad or whatever. And then I'll sort of keep track of it in my head. And I know people are like, okay, KC, based off of the title, I see where you're going with this. Good. I'm glad you do. Sometimes you have to hit the mute button when it comes to people, when it comes to work, when it comes to stuff outside of life. Sometimes it's just like, whatever. It's on mute. I'm not even hearing it. How I treat those commercials. How my mother treats commercials. She switched her plan. She don't have to see them at all. So she's on a constant mute of commercials when it comes to Hulu. She's not playing it because she doesn't like commercials. When you're hearing all that extra noise, you just have to hit the mute button. Now, you can decide if you want to overuse the mute button. Do you want to put everything on mute? There actually might be a helpful advertisement or a commercial that comes in front of you, and you might be hitting the mute button and not paying attention, and it's something that you need. So, and that's where discernment comes in. You have to pick and choose. But for the most part, what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with hitting the mute button. That's what you have to do to things, people in life. That's what I know helps me through some of my situations where something's going on or someone's saying something and they don't realize in my head I hit the mute button. It's like they're doing their talking if I allowed them to get that far, because sometimes I'll just cut the conversation short. But if I know they need to get something off their chest or whatever, I hit the mute button in my head. And it's like, and then after they're done, I'm like, okay. Which I didn't really take in anything they said. It was just more of, they wanted to say it. I wasn't going to interrupt them. I'll give them time, which isn't always guaranteed, again, with me. And that'll be that. And then I'll move on to the next thing. But don't let useless commercials get to you when you have the ability to hit the mute button. That's what I'm saying. You have the ability to, if someone's saying something to you, if you can't get them out of your orbit, or if you can't get out of their orbit, hit the mute button. So you don't take in that energy that they're giving off, or the energy they're attempting to take away from you, because you have energy vampires too, where people feed off your energy because they want to lay their emotional baggage at your doorstep. And some days you can take on that baggage and be fine with it. Other days it's like, okay, no, not today. Mute. And then that's that. If they want input or reply, you can give one. Usually in those situations, I give a reply that I know will imply that I really don't feel like being bothered. And then if they can't take the hint, I might say something else or do something else. But yeah, don't get stressed over people. Don't get stressed over stuff when you can hit the mute button. That's what I'm saying. And don't feel like you are not allowed to hit the mute button. It's your life. You choose what energy you allow to come into it. You can always say, no, I'm not taking on this baggage. I'm not taking on this energy. You have the option to say that at any time. Now, will you be popular because of that? Probably not. Will people complain sometimes because you hit the mute button on them? Yeah, probably, but it's not going to matter because you can hit the mute button again. That's what it's there for. So you don't have to hear all the mess. It's tuned out. The mute button is a thing that can help you keep your sanity in this thing we call life. So don't be afraid to make use of it, regardless of what the situation is. And again, I always add the caveat, also know when not to put things on mute. Again, discernment. Some commercials, they have information that might help you. But for the most part, if you know that there isn't anything there, hit the mute button and go on about your business until you get to what you really want to see, which is what I do on YouTube. I hit the mute button until I get to what I really want to see. I don't hit skip just because I know some people who are listening to this are like, why don't you just hit skip? Can't you skip some of the commercials? Yeah, you can skip some of the commercials on YouTube, but I believe in paying it forward because I want them to get, whoever's channel I'm watching, I want them to get full credit for whatever ad comes up, unless it's like a 30-minute, because they do that sometimes too, which YouTube need to cut that out. But if it's usually a 2-minute ad or a 5-minute ad, something like that, I just put it on mute until it's done. And then when what I want to watch comes on, which is the tarot card reading, usually, then that's what I watch. I just pay it forward. I don't skip through it because I want them to get credit for it. So yeah, because I just know that's in the back of some people's minds when I'm talking about YouTube. Like, why don't you just hit the skip ad? But anyways, it's your mute button. You can hit it anytime. You don't have to watch stuff you don't want to watch. You can turn your head away and hit the mute button. And that's all I got for my daily thought. See, I told you I was going to make it short. And I'm proud of myself because we're right before Mercury goes in retrograde. So yeah, and thank you to anyone and everyone who's been sending up prayers or whatever for me. I appreciate that because my sleep last night was better than the night before, and that one was better than that night before. So things seem to be balancing out, knock on wood, fake wood. And yeah, let's hope that my sleep keeps on getting better and better and better, because the better it gets, the more energy and strength I'll have to do the tarot card readings this weekend for Keeping It Real with KC, which I'm like, I'm having to psych myself up for this. I'm having to do that. It's like I'm trying to get myself ready for this because I'm looking to do a lot of readings this weekend. 12 signs is a lot, man. That's 12 videos. So yeah, but anyways, thank you to everyone for your support. Again, KIRWKC. If you're watching on YouTube or Dailymotion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, followed by the notification bell for YouTube, and all that other jazzy stuff with social media. Until next time, be blessed.